Hi friends, today we're going to draw a snowman ice cream cone. So we will need a pencil, an eraser, a Sharpie. Make sure you have a Sharpie so that it doesn't bleed when you add the paint, some watercolor paper, again important for the shading, some watercolor paintbrushes, a jar of water, and a paper towel. All right, we're going to go ahead with our pencils and get started. So the first thing we're going to start with is actually the hat of the snowman. So we're just going to draw kind of a square shape. It'll be a little curved down on this side. And then we'll go across and in just a little. So it's not straight down, it's kind of curved in just a tiny bit. We're going to go back across and draw this decorative part of his hat. Just like this. So we have a band. And then we're going to draw another band, but this one's gonna go out past the hat, just like this. Okay, so we have rectangle and two really long skinny rectangles. We're going to connect this one up like this, and this is just to make that hat look a little more rounded. You can kind of curve it like this. All right, we're going to start on the snowman's hat. I mean his head, not his hat. We already did his hat. So we're going to go down like this, a curved line, and then a curved line on the other side. This one might be a little shorter because of the hat being kind of crooked. All right, we're going to draw some bumps like this across the snowman's, the bottom of his face. Okay. We're going to draw a triangle nose, so a long, skinny triangle. And on this side, you want to curve it to give it a little more of a 3D appearance. So you don't want it straight, you want it a little curve. We'll draw two eyes with some highlights inside. So that white part is the highlight. I'm going to leave that white so that the eyes look kind of shiny. I'm going to draw in a couple circles for his mouth. Smile up. So I think maybe even I made this just a little close, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to make my bumps go down just a little bit further so it's not so close to the mouth. Just like that. Okay. You want to draw a couple little lines in the carrot nose. It's like carrots have some little lines on them. All right, we're going to go to the next portion of the snowman. So we're going to start about here and do a curved line down just like we did before. Curved line on the other side. Some more bumps. And then we're going to draw in two buttons on this part of the snowman. So we will have one more button to do on the next portion, which we can go ahead and start now. Another curved line down, curved line on this side, and some bumps. Okay, add that last button, and then we're going to draw in the cone at the bottom, which is just a big V. Big letter V. And then for these lines on the cone, we're going to follow one of these lines all the way across the cone, trying to keep the distance between each line about the same. Go the whole way across. And then we're going to follow this line instead. So we're going to go up this line. And again, try to keep them about the same distance apart. All the way. Okay. We're done sketching our snowman ice cream cone. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Sharpies. And we're going to go over all of the lines. Fix anything along the way that you want to fix before you use your Sharpie on it. So we're going to make some of these lines a little bit thicker. Or I am. If you want to, you may too. Just gives it a little bit more dimension, but you don't have to do that. So I add a little bit of thickness to this hat here. We're just going to go over all the lines. This spot in here, you can go ahead and color black right away, just like this. Okay. I also make these lines on the outside of the snowman a little bit thicker, and all the bumps, because these bumps are over top of this ice cream cone, so it makes it appear like it's a little bit closer. Okay. When you go and fill in the eyes, make sure that you don't cover up that highlight. I'm going to keep that white. Add a little bit of a thicker line at the bottom. Okay. You can fill in the buttons a while if you want. You can see I'm kind of changing my bumps with my marker. Just wanted to fix some mistakes that I did with my pencil. For the cone, I make this outside part a little thicker too. So you can tell the difference between these two lines and all the lines on the inside. Let's go over all these lines, and then I will be ready to erase all of my pencil marks. Okay, I'm done with my Sharpie. I'm going to grab my eraser and start erasing. Okay, I think I'm about ready to paint, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my paintbrush and my paper towel. I'm going to start with the snowman's hat. So I chose a dark gray for my hat, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave this section right here as a highlight, so I'm going to leave that a little bit lighter. So I'm actually going to start on this side and make this side darker, and then go back over on this side and start filling in this side. I'm going to just take a little bit of this gray and pull it out into that space that I want to leave lighter, but I don't want it to be dark. So I just want to keep it nice and light like that. And then we'll go ahead and keep filling in the darker sections, which will be the two sides, and then slowly getting lighter to the middle. I'm just going to add some more on both sides here, and then kind of drag it in toward the center. I'm getting pretty close to where I want to leave a highlight, so I'm just going to go around that area like this, and then grab some water, kind of wash that off, and kind of blend it in just like this. Okay, now I would like to add a little bit more dark on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can see that it's starting to seem more 3D. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the rim of the hat. That's also gray, so I'm just going to fill this in with a little water first. It still has a little bit of gray on my paintbrush here, which is okay. But then I'm going to take my dark gray and just go along the bottom edge of the hat. It'll kind of move itself up the hat to where it should be a little lighter. So you can see it's kind of blending itself. I don't even have to do any of the blending really. But you can go ahead and rinse off your brush then a little and kind of make it a little more wet if you want it to be smoother. So kind of like that. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab some orange for the rim of, or the decorative piece of the hat and the carrot nose. I'm going to take some orange, and again I have a highlight in line with this highlight. So I'm going to try not to get too much orange in that spot. I'm going to make everything else orange. Make it even darker on this side, just like I did with the top of the hat. You can see it's orange, white, orange, and then dark orange. So I'm going to rinse off my brush a tiny bit. Then I'm going to take some of this orange on this side and pull it in to the center, and some on this side and pull it in. Now it's kind of a nice gradient. Okay, so now I'm going to make my carrot nose wet, grab some orange paint, and then start just at the base and this side. If it doesn't move completely, you can kind of blend it up just a tiny bit. Like this. Okay. All right, so the ice cream cone is, or the ice cream in the cone is white, but we want some dimension, so I added some blue, very light blue, just to give it some shadow. So we're gonna just make this part wet. We're gonna make just parts that we want a little bit blue wet, and then we're gonna take tiniest bit of light blue and kind of go over those spots. You don't want it to be super dark, you just want to give a little bit of shadow. So we're going to go around the edges here and also right under here. There would be a little bit of a shadow. Once you have that, you can clean off your brush a little bit and kind of blend it. So there might be parts that don't blend completely. Just like this, you can kind of take your brush in a circular motion and kind of move it around. So there's that. If you want to make it darker in any spots, you can do that now. I think my top portion is done, but you can see the difference in this one and this one. This one looks a lot more detailed. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the next portion. So again, I'm going to take my water where I'm going to want some darkness. Just like that. You're going to want it darkest right under here to create a shadow from this ice cream. Take some water and blend it in. And that part is done. All right, we're going to go down to the next part. Same thing, water where we want it darker. Again, this will be the darkest part. Okay, just gonna blend that last part in. Okay, and we're going to start on the cone next. So for the cone, I used a very small amount of brown. We're going to go ahead and make our cone wet first. Not super, super wet, just a little wet. We're going to go ahead and grab a tiny bit of brown. We want it to be darkest right down here and right over here, and then also especially right here where there's going to be ice cream over top of this location. So we want a nice shadow there. So this will be the lightest part. We don't want it white though, so we're going to go ahead and blend some of this brown in with some water. Slowly move it in until you're happy with the color. If you need to add some more dark brown, you can. And just move it in. All right, I think I'm done. I hope you had fun painting with me, and I can't wait to paint with you again soon. Bye.